Hello everyone, welcome to the English YouTuber. Today we shall be discussing Macbeth Act 4 Scene 2. So let's first discuss what happens in this scene. So this scene takes place at Fife in Macduff's castle. Lady Macduff is angry and she's questioning Ross why her husband has fled, leaving behind his wife, his children, his house, and his title. Ross says that maybe Macduff did it out of wisdom or out of fear. But Lady Macduff says that her husband Macduff is a coward. Then she tells her son that his father has died. But the son does not believe her. Then a messenger arrives warning them to leave the castle as soon as possible. And in a short while, the murderers come to inquire about Macduff and then they kill the son. As the son is dying, he tells his mother to run away. So Lady Macduff exits crying murder and the murderers follow her. And the scene ends right there. So this is a gist of what happens in this scene. Now we will go to the line by line explanation. So Lady Macduff is having a conversation with the Thane of Ross and she's asking what had he done to make him fly the land. So what has he done so that which is making him flee from his own land, which is Scotland. So Ross is saying, you must have patience, madam. So please be patient. So Lady Macduff says, he had none. Means he had no patience. His flight was madness. So what she is saying is, for him to run away was insane. It was crazy. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors. So sometimes even if we are not traitors by our action, when we go away like that, it looks like or seems like we are traitors. So what is Lady Macduff telling Ross? Even if you are not a traitor, your actions of running away makes you look like you are a traitor. So Ross says, you know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear. So you don't know whether it was his wisdom or if it was his fear that made him flee like that or run away. So Lady Macduff is saying wisdom to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his title in a place from whence himself does fly. So she's saying, how can it be wisdom where you are leaving your wife behind, your children? So babes here means babies, your children. His mansion, that is his castle, his house and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. So he is fleeing from his place where all of this he has left behind. He says he loves us not. He does not love us because he has left all of his favorite people and his possessions behind and he has fled from there. He wants the natural torch for the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. So she is saying that he does not have the natural instinct to protect his family. What does she say? Even the most fragile bird, wren, which is the smallest of birds, will fight against the owl when the owl tries to threaten her young ones in the nest. So even a weakling of a bird will protect her young ones. But Macduff has not done that because she's saying that he does not love us and he has left us behind. All is the fear and nothing is the love. So his intention to run away is motivated by fear and not out of love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason. And she says it is so unreasonable for him to run away, so it has nothing to do with wisdom also. So Ross says, my dear cause means my dear cousin or my dear relative, I pray you, school yourself. So please, I beg you, pull yourself together. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fit of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves when we hold rumor. So Ross is telling, please put yourself together and listen. Your husband, he's a noble person. He's wise, he's intelligent, he's judicious, and he knows the fits of the season, means he knows the correct political irregularities that is happening or the political unrest that is happening around. And he also says that it is not safe for me to say much more than this, but times are bad. When people are called as traitors and they don't even know why. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear. So he's saying in these strange times or in these cruel times, we believe frightening rumors and we don't even know what we are afraid of, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. So he's saying that it feels like we are being tossed around in the wild ocean during a storm and we move in every direction, but finally we get nowhere. Then he says, I take my leave of you, means now I will have to take my leave. I will have to say goodbye. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. So it won't be long before I am back here again. Things at the worst will cease or else climb upward to what they were before. So he's saying that things that are worst will eventually cease, means eventually end, or else climb upward to what they were before, means or else they will improve to how it was before. Then Ross turns to speak to the son of Macbeth and he says, my pretty cousin, blessing upon you. So my young cousin, I bless you. Then Lady Macbeth says, fathered he is and yet he is fatherless. So what is she saying? He has a father, yet he is fatherless. Ross says, I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer? It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once. So he says that I will be a fool if I stay any longer because I will bring disgrace upon myself by crying and it is going to embarrass you and cause you discomfort. So I am going to take my leave at once. And he exits. Then Lady Macbeth tells her son, Sirrah, your father's dead. So young man, your father is no more, he's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live? So what are you going to do now? How are you going to live? So the son says, as birds do, mother. So I will live just like how birds live. Lady Macbeth says, what? With worms and flies? So what, are you going to start eating worms and flies like birds? So son says, with what I get, I mean, and so do they. So what he's saying is, I will live on whatever I get, just like how birds do. Then Lady Macduff says, "Poor bird, thou's never fear the net nor line, the pitfall nor the gin." So Lady Macduff is saying, "Oh, poor bird, you are going to be a pitiful bird because you will never fear the net or the trap nor the lime." So lime is a sticky substance that is used for trapping birds. So you will never fear the traps or the sticky substance that is set out by hunters. So she's saying you will not know about any kind of trap or scheme that is implemented against you. So now the son is saying, "Why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for." So why should I worry? There's no reason for me to be afraid because, mother, hunters do not want pitiful birds. My father is not dead. And no matter what you say, I will not believe that my father is dead. Then Lady Macduff says, "Yes, he is dead. How will thou do for a father?" Yes, he is dead. Now what are you going to do for a father? And the son is asking, "Nay, how will you do for a husband?" But let me ask you, what will you do for a husband? You are saying he's no more. What are you going to do for a husband? So Lady Macduff says, "Why? I can buy me 20 at any market." So she's saying, "Oh, I can buy 20 husbands at any market." Son is saying, "Then you will buy them to sell again." So he's saying, "So you will buy them only so that you can sell them again." Lady Macduff says, "Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet in faith with wit enough for thee." So she's saying you are speaking with all your intelligence and with your wit. But it also shows that for a child, your wit is very good or your intelligence is pretty good. Son asks, "Was my father a traitor, mother?" So Lady Macduff says, "Yes, that he was." So son is asking, "What is a traitor then?" So Lady Macduff says, "Why? One that swears and lies." So someone who makes a promise and then breaks it. Then son asks, "And be all traitors that do so?" So do all traitors swear and then break their promise? So Lady Macduff says, "Everyone that does so is definitely a traitor and must be hanged." So the son says, "And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?" So everyone who makes promises and breaks them, should they be hanged? So Lady Macduff says, "Everyone." So the son says, "Who must hang them?" So who will be hanging them? Lady Macduff says, "Why, the honest men." So it is the honest men who are going to hang them. So the son says, "Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang them up." So the son is saying that means the liars and the swearers who break the promise, they are fools or foolish people, because there are more than enough liars and swearers who can overpower the honest people, and so therefore they can actually get together and hang the truthful people or the honest people. So they are actually fools. So for a small boy, Macduff's son is showing that he has a lot of intelligence, because here he's trying to say that there are a lot of liars and promise breakers in the society. So if they are smart enough, they could actually get together and hang the honest people. Then Lady Macduff says, "Now God help thee, poor monkey. But how will thou do for a father? Oh, God help you, poor boy. Now, what will you do without a father?" So the son says, "If he were dead, you would weep for him. And if you are not crying, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father. So if you're not weeping, if you're not mourning, then it is a good sign that I will soon have a new father. Lady Macbeth says, poor prattler, how thou talk'st. So, little chatterbox, how are you talking? Now a messenger enters and the messenger says, bless you, fair dame. So, bless you, fair lady. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. So, what does he say? You don't know me, but I know you very well. I know about your high social rank. So that's what he's saying. I am not to you known, so you have no idea who I am. Though in your state of honor, I am perfect. So I perfectly know that you have a high social rank. I doubt some dangers does approach you nearly. So I'm afraid danger is coming towards you. If you will take a homely man's advice. So if you take a simple man's advice, be not found here. So do not be found here. Please leave hence with your little ones. So take your children with you and at once go away from here. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty. So what is he saying? To fright you like this, to scare you like this, I am too blunt. But the cruelty that is already so close to you will do more harm to you. Which is too nigh your person means which is very close to you. So I feel really bad that I'm scaring you like this by being so blunt, but the cruelty that is already so close to you will do more harm to you. Heaven preserve you. So heaven help you. I dare abide no longer. So I don't dare to stay here any longer. And he exits. So Lady Macbeth is asking, whither should I fly? So where should I go? I have done no harm, but I remember now, I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? So she's saying that I have done no harm, but I must remember that I am here in this earthly world where doing harm is often laudable. Laudable means it is praised. And doing good is sometimes considered a foolish and risky mistake. So Lady Macbeth is saying, I have done no harm, but I should remember now that I am in this earthly world where sometimes when you do evil things, it is often praised. And doing good is sometimes considered a dangerous or a foolish mistake. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense? So she's asking, so why do I make this weak defense to show that I am innocent? Enter the murderers. What are these faces? So she's asking, who are these men? The first murderer asks, where is your husband? So Lady Macbeth says, I hope in a place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him. So she's saying that I hope he is in no place so disgraceful where you might find him. The first murderer says he's a traitor. The son says, thou liest, thou shag-eared villain. So the son is saying, you are lying, you dog-eared villain. So maybe his hair looks like long ears of a dog. So the first murderer says, "What? You egg, young fry of treachery." So he's saying, "What is that, you little fool? You are the young son of a traitor." And he stabs him. The son is saying, "He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you." So he's saying, "He has killed me. So please run away, mother. I am begging you." And he dies. So the scene ends by Lady Macbeth crying and exiting, saying, "Murder, murder." And the murderers are following her. And the scene ends. And this is the end of Act 4, Scene 2. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got to learn. Until we meet next time with the question and answers from this scene, take good care of yourselves. God bless.